Hello everyone and welcome back. The topic of today's lesson will be how to create more randomness to the trigger system. In the previous lesson you learned how to spawn a single enemy unit with the trigger system, but that gets boring quite fast. So now I'm gonna learn you how to introduce more randomness to it, so you are never certain about what will happen. So let's go back to where we left off at our previous lesson and let's add a few more units. We have our F15 here. Let's add a few more units. F18, F16A. Can add one of those. Have the trained level. Let's call it EN Fighter 2, like so. Let's add one more. And let's add a let's add an F4 to the mix. Have it fly like so. And let's call it EN Fighter 3, like so. So with these three units I think we have enough here, so I can demonstrate the concept. Now we're going to go back to set rules for triggers. As you remember this one, we're going to remove this one, or we're going to scroll down. We are going to scroll down and we're going to select this one, flag set random value. So once you have clicked flag select random value, we're going to select our flag. We're just going to stick with flag 1 in this case. We don't need to worry about anything else. Just to digress a little bit here. So you might be wondering what flags actually are. A flag can be explained as a container with information, and once the flag is turned on, then the container is open and whatever is inside is activated. I know this sounds a bit confusing. I know it sure as heck was for me when I started this, but bear with me, you will get the concept. So once you have clicked flag select random value, we're going to select our flag. We're just going to stick with flag 1 in this case. We don't need to worry about anything else. And you want to have it and then you want to select the value between 1 and let's say 10, just for simplicity. And then you're going to click new once more, and we're going to call this fighter 1. And then we're going to click new on conditions, and we're going to scroll down at flag is more, like so. We're going to have flag 1, and you're going to have the value at 0, and we're going to click new once more, and we're going to go down to flag is less. There it was. And we're going to set this one at, let's say, 4. And then we're going to click new action, and we're going to go back to our good old group activate, and we're going to select an fighter 1, like so. And now we're going to repeat this process 3 times for all the 3 enemy fighters. We can do this really simply by just clicking clone, like so. And we're going to call this fighter 2. And we're going to click on flag is more and put 3. And let's put this one at let's say 7. And we're going to go to group activates and select EN Fighter 2. Now you might be wondering why I'm setting flag is more at value number 3 and not value 4. And that is simply put because it means less than. That means less than 4, that is 3, and flag is more than 0, that is 1. So if the flag is set at the value at 1, 2, 3, then fighter 1 is selected. So you always want to go 1 below when on the next one. Because if I set it at 4 and the value happen to be set at 3, nothing will happen. I know that sounded a bit confusing, but once you get it, you get it. Now let's repeat this one more time. Let's clone this one. Let's call it fighter 3. And set more than 6. And this one at 11. Remember, it means less than. That means if the flag now is 7 or 10, or I mean 7 to 10, then fighter number 3 is selected. Oh, I almost forgot to change that one, like so. So let's go through the logic here one more time. This is our aircraft. We are the red coalition. Once a red coalition aircraft flies into trigger zone 1, that's one condition. Flies into trigger 1, airplane, then a random flag value is set. Flag 1 is turned on and it's setting a random value between 1 and 10. If it happens to, let's say, be number 5, then enemy fighter number 2 is spawned. And so on for all of them. If it happens to be 9, then fighter number 3 is activated. That's the logic of it. So let's hop into the aircraft and test this out. Alright, so I'm back into the mission editor because once I started flying I noticed that both the F-16 and the F-4 had spawned. And then I found out why. And that is because I had forgot to select late activation. Like so. And so. So now that late activation is activated, now everything should be working. So now we're in our beloved Tomcat.
Nails 10 o'clock.
Alright, so now we just entered the trigger zone and we can see that an F-15 just spawned. Let's do that one more time. Let's restart the mission. Let's see what happens.
I'm showing nails 10 o'clock.
And this time we can see that the F-4 spawned. So guys, now you know how you can create randomness using flags and trigger zones. I hope this was helpful, and in the next video I will talk about SAM sites, and I see you then.